What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Silver investment demand keeps growing. We're talking about an exponential phase of rapid value escalation. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an incredible article for you guys and gals today. You're going to want to stick through this one because there's a lot of information and there's a lot of context when we're talking about silver supply and demand, right? There's a lot of gray area, a lot of theorizing, a lot of people that there's a lot of misinformation. So we're going to break this stuff down. You guys know me. I like dissecting this information. I like breaking it down and looking at both sides of the coin, pun intended, and really just see what's going on. Make sure you like this video and leave a comment down below. It helps the video grow a lot. But anyways, link to the articles in the description. Let's jump right into it. Silver investment demand keeps growing. So according to bond market trading billionaire Scott Minerd, it will take some time due to the sheer size of the gold market. But ultimately, the precious metals will enter an exponential phase of rapid value escalation. Minerd recently stated the ultimate price target for gold is between $5,000 and $10,000 an ounce, also saying this is in the cards. Silver traditionally lags. It's the poor man's gold, but it's also gold on steroids, and it's the one that will have the largest move on percentage basis. It is the high beta version of gold, and that's what I'm talking about. It's gold on steroids. So if he's talking about $5,000, $10,000 an ounce, which is in the cards, which a billionaire is saying this, and he's a market trading billionaire, then if that's what gold would reach, and he's saying that silver would be on a higher percentage basis, then holy crap. You know, these guys, they're not stupid. They know how the economy works. They know how these markets work. It only makes sense. Those long-term gold price targets align with current fiat Federal Reserve notes monetary base expansion. Meanwhile, silver investment demand is hitting never before seen levels in 2021. And yes, everyone, and I mean everyone, wants a slice of the silver pie. Everyone. And the craziest part about this is, guys, is this is just investment demand. This is just people like you and I. But think about the demand for photovoltaics, solar panels, the Green New Deal, electric vehicles, solar panels, 5G towers, silver lithium-ion batteries, all of that stuff too. So we have a rapidly increasing demand from individual investors, but also the stuff that silver is mainly used for, which is in electronics, is also going to be needed at astronomically high levels over the next coming decades. Trillions of dollars into silver with the entire globe going solar. This is crazy. If you really look at this information, it's astonishing. So even with silver premiums blown out on silver bullion products for some time due to the outsized demand, which even the U.S. Mint acknowledged and came clean about the silver shortage, covered that a couple of days ago, but the sheer numbers of troy ounces being sold in 2021 are larger than the historic year of 2020, when silver was the number one performing asset of 2020. Just in the past week, the second largest silver coin minting Sovereign reported record high sales in the first quarter of 2021 versus the first quarter of 2020. I remember first quarter of 2020, that was when there was a pandemic happening, right? That was like right when everything was going haywire. So you can see Royal Canadian Mint Silver Maple Leaf Bullion Coin sales volume near 10 million ounces in the first quarter of 2021. And that is a record high, larger than the amount of the first quarter in 2020. I mean, here's proof. Numbers don't lie, right? Everyone tries to say, oh, well, that's speculate. No, I mean, the numbers are right here from the Royal Canadian Mint. U.S. Mint said the same thing. They are having a hard time getting the blanks to stamp and create American Eagles because there's a supply shortage of those. So, I mean, this stuff isn't speculation, guys. When we're talking about silver being scarce, it's real. For 2020 and 2021, combined silver bullion and net silver ETF demand have been tracking at above 70% of newly mined global silver ounces per year. This situation and trend could ultimately force the silver spot price to run violently upwards, possibly larger and faster than a vertical run we saw in late 2010 and early 2011. So that's interesting to say, because 2011 is when we saw $50 silver, but he's saying that this trend in force could be larger and faster than we saw in 2011. Now, in 2008, there was a credit financial crisis, recession/depression, billion-dollar stimulus. 3 years later led to $50 silver. Nowadays, recession/depression, credit financial crisis, $1 trillion stimulus. So back then it led to 3 years, but we also have a global pandemic nowadays. So March of 2020, we'll say, was the starting point for this run, and 2008 was a starting point for that run, because we saw $9 silver 2008, we saw $11 silver March last year. So we're already about over a year in, but if it's going to be quicker, then we're looking at these numbers, $50 plus silver, within the next year and a half, 2 years at most, if you're looking at this realistically on what they're saying. So it's interesting that this is a very interesting article. Silver investment demand now near line silver supply additions. Of course, industrial silver demand continues to excess silver is being drained. Silver squeeze, Wall Street silver. And, that's real. Look, the annual world silver mine supply versus global net silver physical and ETF investment. Look at this. Blue is global net total silver investment, and the orange is silver mine supply. I mean, numbers do not lie. One of the longest term bullish silver calls was in late 2011 when New York Federal Reserve investment advisor Scott Minerd began calling silver to make it run at $500 an ounce by the end of this decade at 2030. Essentially forecasting a coming move to fiat, CBDC, and less cash in our collective economies. Judging by current trends, as bullish $500 fiat Fed note per troy ounce of silver take may indeed come to pass by 2030. And I like how they said it's the Fed note per troy ounce, because it's the wording of that makes you really understand that when we're comparing, if we're saying $100 silver, that sounds crazy, but the dollar's becoming so worthless that you need more dollars. Things are more expensive because it's losing its purchasing power. So that sounds crazy, but if you realize how devalued, how worthless the dollar is, then it really does start to make more sense. So anyways, I thought this was an incredible article. There's a lot of videos that go along with this too. So if you want to check out the link in the description, you can watch the videos that they put on here as well, just to give you more context. I definitely think this is one of, if not the best article I've covered on this channel in a long time. It really shows the reality and the potential, and not just speculating or theorizing why it could happen, but what's happened before. Last time we saw $50 silver, how similar it is, and why this time could be so much more extreme. I mean, we're talking about astronomical prices. If he's saying gold between $5,000-$10,000 an ounce, what would that put silver right now? So 68 to 1. So if the ratio is going to go lower and people are talking about 30 to 1, 40 to 1, do the math. $10,000 or 10,000 divided by 40. Actually, I'm going to look that up. What is that right now? Let's look that up. Let's do a couple math. So right now, if gold's $5,000 and the gold to silver ratio is 68 to 1, that would put silver at $73. So if it's $10,000 and the gold to silver ratio stays the same, that's silver at $147. But let's say it's $5,000 and silver is dramatically outperforming gold, so the ratio is 40 to 1. That puts silver at $125. So, I mean, let's say if it's 16 to 1, because that's the natural state it was for centuries upon thousands of years actually. So let's say silver or gold's $5,000 an ounce and the gold to silver ratio is 16 to 1. That would put silver at $5,000 an ounce. 16 to 1, that put silver at $312. So, I mean, and over time, the dollar, like I said, is losing its purchasing power, so it's becoming devalued. So, just like, people say, back in the day, this cost 5 cents, and now it's like $30. That's because over time you need more dollars because it's losing its purchasing power. So if you're looking forward, applying that same principle to silver, yes, in the future it's going to cost, or it's going to have to cost more. And I mean that's just from one small perspective. You also have to look at why silver will also become more valuable, and that's the intrinsical value of silver, regardless of whatever amount of dollars you want to say an ounce of silver is worth. That's irrelevant because the silver's value is the 1 ounce inside of it, not the price tag that's attached to it, and nothing else has that same benefit. And that's why it's called a safe haven metal. It's why they're called precious metals. That's and with the investment demand and the industrial sector, I don't see how silver isn't by far the best investment. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I have some more stuff. Stay tuned. I have another video I'm going to be dropping in the morning, probably around 11 a.m. So stay tuned for that. I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys. The amount of support you guys have been showing me and my family with the stuff we're dealing with is unbelievable. You had my grandpa crying. You had my uncle crying. It's just crazy. You guys are absolutely insane. You guys know what I'm talking about probably. And if you don't, go check out the video I posted yesterday. But you guys are absolutely insane. I love you so much. Make sure to like this video and comment down below. This video needs to do good because people really need to know this information. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, at least 3, entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. I post daily videos. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.